Hello, this is Linda Comeau for the upcoming 2017 North American Systemic Constellations Conference in Virginia Beach this coming October. So exciting. And today I'm interviewing one of our featured presentations, Bill Mannle. Bill's topic is To the Heart of the Matter, Rediscovering Presence, Vitality, and Creativity. Thank you, Bill, for meeting me today.
Hey, Linda, how are you?
Super, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good. Very excited to hear about your presentation today.
Yeah, me too.
Great. So tell us about your presentation.
I'm actually. It'll be the second time I'm doing this. I'm actually doing it in Copenhagen. Actually it's about 3 weeks. And what this is sort of an amalgam of many workshops I've done, really working with a facilitator or therapist or body worker or whoever about sort of helping him or her really get grounded in themselves. And I use Constellations as a tool to explore what's necessary, what's needed to help people sort of move into the field in a more original and authentic way. And it's been very exciting. So, and it's a brief workshop. But I've developed these small exercises, and I have to be careful when I say small because a woman criticized me. She says they're not small, they're deceptively profound, really to get us in touch with ourselves. And some of those issues that may come up may be fear, leftover family of origin issues that are still getting in the way when we step into the field and work with our clients. So that's really the focus of the workshop.
That is super exciting. I like that idea. Yeah. That's going to help us facilitators.
Yes, I hope so. Yeah.
And when you were putting this together, what creativity did you come up with? How did it come to you that to focus on the facilitators?
Well, I've been doing this work. In my other hat, I'm a family therapist, and I'm also a supervisor of therapists. So the idea of being with therapists who struggle with clients and have difficult cases, I've been doing that for like 10 years. And so now it's just switching that to working with facilitators. And it's really the self of the therapist or self of the facilitator. And we look at how does your system become overlapped with the client system, which can happen. And it can happen in a constellation too. So the idea is, coming up with ways that you can sort of stay clean, stay present, so that doesn't happen, and then also to enhance, like what do you like to do? How do you want to step into the work? Not how I do it, but how do you want to step into the work and enhancing? What works for Linda,
right?
And that's your creativity. That's your sweet spot.
Mm-hmm. So. Can you give us an example of maybe something that a facilitator or therapist may have a blind spot about?
Well, that's a big one. Sometimes it could be personal trauma, and it has not been worked through, or it has not come to a place where it doesn't get activated. We all have personal trauma, and so when you're working with a client, you want to make sure that if the issue is similar, that you can have these exercises as internal, and this is something that you can do in 30 seconds. That you can just this is familiar, but it's not mine. So I can be present to the client before we step into the constellation. And if the constellation gets to be emotional or goes to a certain depth, I can still be present because I can put this over here and put it on hold. So. That can be a blind spot because sometimes people aren't aware of that, and they can get triggered. Or a client. Another one is a client reminds you of someone in your system, like your mother, but you're not. And you get irritated or agitated. They're just talking. They're not doing anything, but you're getting irritated. That could be a blind spot. So, and there's many more.
Yes, there are many.
Yes.
And so further question to this is then if someone is having that connection to the client a little bit too much, or having the trauma in their own system and it's getting triggered, what would be some of the signs for the facilitator? Like, for example, I'm very emotive. So sometimes when I'm facilitating, I notice my eyes start leaking and I start crying. Would that be one of the signs?
It could be. It happens to me too. We're human, and so sometimes when emotions or connections start to happen in a constellation, we're just touched by it. That's all. We're moved by it. It happens to me. I have to take a step out a little bit just to relax, because it's deeply profound. There's a lot of love that's happening. So I wouldn't classify that as the same thing. I think I've seen it happen with many facilitators. The difference is, I think, if a trauma comes up and you haven't resolved it, you haven't worked through it, what you might do is just completely avoid it and take the constellation in another direction. That's a little tricky to spot. I would only know that if I talk to the facilitator. You move it into a place where you don't want to go to, because unconsciously it's too frightening for you. So that's one area. So
a little bit of fear might be one of the triggers that you notice as the facilitator.
Fear. Yep. Fear, ending a constellation too soon, and it's not because the client can't absorb it or take it in. It's because it's too wobbly for you. That could be one. Could be other factors too, but it could be.
And probably intuitively, we facilitators know, oh, that hit a nerve.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's going to happen. It's just having a process, an internal process where you can breathe through it, give yourself distance, and move back into the field and be present for your client. To think that that's not going to happen would be naive. It will happen, but if you have the skills to say, okay, I like to take distance. You step out a couple feet back, ask everybody to hold. You take care of yourself, and you come back. You breathe, and you come back. Yeah.
Right.
That's just one technique. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it will happen. It will happen. We will get thrown off balance, and this is the idea of how do you stay balanced? How do you stay focused? How do you stay present?
So in your workshop, we're going to learn some techniques to keep ourselves centered.
Yep.
And moving forward with vitality.
Yep. And what I'll do is with vitality, which is this whole life force. But what I'm going to do is I have these. I can't give it away yet.
You're right.
What I'm going to have is these small exercises, these very mini constellations that will put you, as my friend would say, they're deceptively profound. Will put you in those places that'll activate you, and then through the exercises, you'll be able to say, okay, I can stay present through this.
This sounds very exciting, Bill. This is going to be very well attended. I'm excited for you.
And it's only an hour and a half. I don't need any more than that.
Right. Okay. Well, maybe you'll have to give it in one of those open spaces too, because
maybe.
It's so well attended. Great. Well, by the way, as you know, I do have a question for you, and this year's question is, or one of the questions is, why should people come to the conference?
Well, that's I actually been thinking about that, because people around here are thinking of going, and people have limited resources. I think any conference, especially the way ours is designed, is that we have all these workshops. So we have this incredible smorgasbord of different styles of presenting constellations. And I think for someone, it's a great opportunity to see many people in one place, and to really pick and choose. To not only that, but to network. So there's a richness to it, because everybody's coming in from a different background. And most conferences, whether it's Constellations or others, are designed that way. So you have all these top presenters, facilitators, and as a conference participant, wow, I can actually be in the presence of all these people and go to these different workshops. So as opposed to just going to a workshop with so and so, which are great, or this with so and so, that's what I think the conference offers. And I hear the setting's fabulous, so that's another reason. Venue is always important, I think.
Venue's important, yes. But the richness of the variety of presenters and quality, and it's a very well-paced program.
I think so, yeah, and that's important too. It's really important.
Yeah, I like that you can have a little siesta or a little walk in between some of the workshops.
That's very important. You know, it's not just with workshops or everything else, and I'm learning that in the last year or two, to really take the time to integrate and to take care of yourself. You know, you go to a learning or a training or a workshop, and then, okay, I need some time to process what happened and maybe journal about it. I think that's really important. It's a good learning tool.
Definitely. Well, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. So again, Bill's conference is To the Heart of the Matter, Rediscovering Presence, Vitality, and Creativity. And you can check our website, nasconstellations.org, for more information. Thank you again, Bill. I really appreciate your time today, and we'll be seeing you soon.
Thank you, Linda. It's great to see you.
Okay, take care now.
Be well.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
thank you. You too. Bye-bye.